Good morning, good afternoon.
25 million players.
Yeah, let's get it.
It was in your color, but in fact, no. And that's why at the beginning we decided to completely lock the color customization. So now what we're doing is changing a ton of stuff in the UI so that people can recognize teammates and enemies even without their customization. And what we're seeing in the video now is that we're playing Dominion from the attacker side, but you have probably noticed that your team blue. And so that's one of them are just to ensure that they wouldn't be taking allies and enemies. But some people really didn't need it. So what we've done, as we can see in the video, is that if you go to the option into user interface, you can disable that outline altogether.
Give us a breakdown of everything.
Yeah. So the first one, the one I mentioned, you will always be team blue from now on. Enemies are always going to be team orange. The second
might, affect certain things. So what can you tell us?
So now, because another benefit of this update that right now we can be like, we can go all over the place in terms of color for material. So expect more colorful material release as the year progresses.
That's awesome. And if I'm not mistaken, we also have a couple of other minor updates to UI that's going to be live for TU1 of Season 3, Resistance. So what can you tell us about those?
So if you recall, we started making...
That will complete the roster of all of our training maps. It's set at the foot of this really majestic temple and overlooking this really beautiful lake filled with landmarks here and there. Everything was created from scratch. We have new assets, new textures. It looks really phenomenal.
It really does. And what can you tell us a little bit about, the lore? Actually, Clarissa, I think you have a little description that we could share with the players back at home, just to get a little bit of the context as to...
The capture zone ends in the back area, and you have to run this entire hall all the way to get to point B or point A, because that's more prominent. It's the more prominent area of the capture zone. We reduced the size of the back area, the balcony area, so that, it's still very comfortable to fight in, but this showcases that we removed the second floor from the capture zone area, and we also added these railings so you can't drop attack on people who are downstairs trying to capture the areas on the sides. And what we did was, boom, we opened them up to zip lines.
Zip lines.
So these zip lines have two very important uses. One being that if you're on the ballista on the second floor and you don't have any target to shoot at, you don't have any easy means of in the entire game, I would say, and one of the most dangerous ones too because of the ballista and the ledge. And what we did here was really utilize that space.
You've started a rebellion, haven't you? Well, I've got a plan. You help me break in. You reap some draconite. And I'll forge a little something for you. Come, warrior. Let's get rid of these bloody tyrants.
And is the free event pass, which also includes really awesome battle outfits, mood effects. So can you give more information about the event pass?
Yeah, so these battle outfits have some really, really cool stuff happening with them. You have the Draconite, which is in this really bright red, that is actually being surrounded by these green waves that go around the outfit in patterns. It's symbolizing how the Draconite is spreading across the world. And I honestly, I think it's the contrast between the two colors is very, very interesting, and it creates for a very, very interesting pattern. We also have the ornament that is really, really interesting because it changes colors depending on whether you're an attacker or a defender once you equip it. Yeah, so it has a balance of the Draconite in the center with the flowers on the sides. It's very interesting. And we also decided to get inspired by the Draconite itself to create this effect. So if ever you felt like there wasn't enough Draconite on the map itself, or you wanted to envelop yourself with all that power, you can do it with this really cool effect that blends really well with this event.
And it's really nice with the red and green because the red...
See? Well, not only the new variation of the armors, there's a kind of... the main overall theme for generally overall themes for whole character variations are, it's quite bright. It kind of represent and also kind of represent the pureness, but at the same time it's kind of a contrast from what we had it before. So that will be kind of contrast from the season 14 and this season's.
It's really awesome. And so when you were saying that there's a little bit of like the factions that were helping each other out, do we see those in these variations?
It's starting to get to that point. Eventually you will see something more, but I cannot say too much about that at this point.
Okay, gotcha. And also a new variation for the Warmonger, as we can see here. That's awesome.
She's the part of the knight.
Yeah, that's true. And now we're going to head into the Viking, if I'm not mistaken. Right. What can you tell us on that?
So basically, they are all quite the same. They have the more clean treatment on overall. Like there is a lot of white colors that was added towards every variations. It does feel different than all the previous presentation, because now I really feel each character is a personality by the posing.
That's true. That's a good point.
Oh, this helm.
Yeah.
So actually, the interesting fact on that one is that it's actually introduced in the key art, and you may be asking yourself why the Jormungandr is part of this resistance. Elise might talk about that at some other point.
I don't know if she actually brought that up, but then when we designed all those year 3 characters, not all of them were just the dark. There were variations of characters that kind of represent the light side as well. So he is the one of them in that design.
My boy Kensei looking so sick. Those pants. I've always said this, but what I love most is for the samurai is the pants. Like I would buy those pants any day of the week. I can't pull them off. I can't pull them off.
I'm pretty sure I had something similar to them too.
That's my retirement plan.
Oh, the Orochi looking shiny as hell over here.
This is one of my favorite overall variation. He looks very sleek.
Yeah. And now we're taking a look at the Hitakiris.
I'm pretty sure someone will kind of find where the reference came from.
아, 내 눈! 아, 내 눈! 아, 내 눈! 아, 내 눈! 아, 내 눈!